Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Snow. I am your host, as always, the Gold Crow, and with me I have four of my wonderful friends with me. And one of them is going to recap the periling events that happened last time. Once again, take it away, Firehilly.
All right. Last time after being separated from Nick, who uh, I'm not exactly sure what happened to him actually. He just kind of left. I don't know if we established if he made it back to the library or not. But I went off exploring uh, and heard some hissing, and then found some ether steam and found Mordane's body in a box with seemingly with necromantic jelly on him. Whether it's keeping him alive, keeping him suspended, or something else, we don't really know. We just know that this is definitely some heavy-duty necrotic shenanigans. After that, I found a teleportation circle made out of ether, which more or less serves as a portal. And then found out on the other side of that portal, after learning the sigil sequence, that there was a whole dang lab there and secret passages, as always. Not good. Found a ledger that said that we had shipments from GD and QM. We'll get to those during the session, I'm sure. Um, And then with that, there was all kinds of research about like planes and more or less artificer necromancy shenanigans where you're doing magic but you're not doing magic. Found plenty of uh, prisoners in the compound and all the kinds of equipment to do horrible things on it that, gives us a PG-13 rating at least. Found a Garchomp with ether embedded in its chest, and uh, after going up and down trying to get a lay of the land, I then returned. And once I returned, I continued to try to find secret passages, but was not able to find any. And considering my investigation, that's probably a good thing. And then the replay crystal time ran out. So once it did, I then used the dimension doorknob to return back to the library.
All right. I think you left out the part with the brain in a jar, but
You know, that was part of investigating the lab and seeing horrible things. But if we want to talk about Owen in a jar, we can.
all right. But
Or Pokemon evolution, or how many beds there were, or the Jigglypuff.
let's you can have your reroll for the session, but let's rewind about an hour and about an hour and a half. This loud screeching is blaring through the lower library, Nick, where you are heading back to the student library. And you
You
are,
want me to put myself on the map back?
well, it doesn't matter. Um,
Okay.
well, you are still invisible right now, but as you hear this kind of loud uh, uh, screeching sound, echoing, reverberating throughout the lower library, you head up the stairs, and that Metagross is in your way.
Okay. Yep. I already planned for this. Nick will use the Sunfeather Shard to teleport while still invisible. Just teleport over to the seats down here.
And that's not a spell or anything, right?
No, it is not.
All right, so it does not break the invisibility.
No, and I think I already rolled the d6 previously, but I can't remember, so I'll just roll it right now.
D6 for what?
You have to roll a d6, and if you get a 1, you can no longer use that until like the next day or something like that.
Okay. I may have forgot you already did this, but you are back in the library. You are invisible right now.
Okay, and is the blaring still sounding in the library?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Then, well, Nick is going to go into the corner here, and he is going to, well, probably over here actually, since he's going to be better out of sight from the mecha grows. And he is going to take his weapons, and he is going to pierce himself with it to make it look like he had been attacked.
Okay. Roll whatever weapon you're using. Roll the damage die.
He'll be using the silver tongue. Let's see. So it'll be a +2 to the damage. All right. Let me check. Okay, d6 +5.
You can roll the damage kind of disadvantage if you're intentionally just trying to make a wound. So you can roll the like damage at disadvantage if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I'll roll twice then.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if damage has the same advantage roll thing as it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, you have done that. Where do you think you have made it?
Probably what he would do is he'd probably do it along his right hip.
Okay. All right, and I'll say I'll assume you're uninvisifying yourself too. Am I correct in that assessment?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, correct. And he is going to do 2 more things as well to prepare. He is going to use the amulet and say Figure's name.
It's pointing northwest, upwards northwest.
Okay. And second, he's gonna brace himself and he's going to say Proteus' name.
It spins around.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So is that all you're doing here?
So after doing that, he is going to hobble upstairs.
Okay,
And he's gonna see
before you do that, as you're
Okay.
approaching the stairs, you see Mordain coming down in a hurry, and he says, "Everyone, evacuate the. What happened to you?"
That wasn't whoever I came down here with wasn't Figure. I was suddenly attacked and he just vanished before my eyes.
Do a deception roll.
Okay.
Oh.
Do I get advantage because I gave him a wound?
Just roll deception.
Okay.
You give
Sure.
yourself the ability to do it at all, I guess.
Fair enough. 16.
16. And where did this thing go?
I don't know. It just turned invisible. I checked Figure's name right as I saw it disappear, but it's pointing to his room. I don't think he ever left. I think I was tricked by something.
He kind of walks past you and begins like looking through the shelves. He's kind of leaving you on the staircase, but you see Mordain kind of like looking around the shelves, and he says, "Go to the infirmary. I am going to check to see if anyone what exactly that was."
Just be careful. I don't know if it's still here or not, but I don't want you to get stabbed too.
Yes.
And yeah, Nick is... where's the infirmary?
The infirmary is not listed, but it's one of it's basically up where Nevin is.
Okay. Alright, yeah, so Nick will do that, and he hopes that Proteus will be able to handle the rest.
Okay. And as soon as you go outside too, you see all the students that are even here are kind of gathered up here right now as if this is some sort of like fire drill or something. And the Elias and Roy see you, and they say, "Yeah, gather. Oh my! What happened to you? What happened to you, student?"
Someone was pretending to be... I was going down to the library with someone who I thought was another student, but they stabbed me and turned invisible.
Oh yes, we must investigate this matter, Roy. You go down to the library, quick. Yes, Elias, I shall. I'll keep an eye on the students. You to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'm heading there. Make sure Mordain's fine.
Yes, I shall. And you see Roy kind of in a huff go down to the library, and you begin going up to the infirmary where Nevin is. You are escorted by Elias, though, so he's just making sure you get there.
Okay.
And he asks Nightingale to just watch over the other students here as you go up to the infirmary. And you actually see Figgery amongst the everyone gathered here too.
Was it downstairs or as he was heading up?
Who?
Figgery.
He's out gathered here with the rest of the students.
Got it.
I'm gonna do a perception roll for him to see if he notices you. Would you be trying to not be seen by him?
Not particularly, no. I think if Nick's pretending to be injured and hobbling around, trying to be sort of sneaky is definitely gonna look suspicious, so I don't think Nick would actively be trying not to be seen by him.
Okay. Yeah, he looks in shock as he sees you and going into the students' lounge, and you are taken up to the infirmary where you are in Nevin's kind of chapel area, and it looks like he was about to go, and he says, "What on earth happened to you?"
Well, basically, I was with someone who I thought was Figgery. We went to the library to get, like, reference materials for a game he's been wanting to play for a while, and while you're in the library, just before the alarm rings, suddenly I wasn't even really paying attention. I was just looking through some books, and suddenly I felt a sharp pain over here and saw what looked like Figgery just disappear before my eyes. I used the amulet to look, seeing maybe I could track him, but it pointed in the completely opposite direction, and I realized I don't know what it was or anything like that, but there was some sort of fake or something that was down there with me.
Well, let's get that patched up. And he takes you over to this kind of slab, and he gets you to sit on it, and he begins dipping it some cloths in water and cleaning off the wound. I'm gonna make him do a medicine check here. Okay. Yes, it's I have not encountered wounds like this before in recent times, so I can tell you what you were struck with, but it is a slash, no doubt. It needs to be disinfected and bandaged.
All right, I'll let you do what you need to do, Doc, and then we should probably start evacuating like the rest of the students.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is like, yeah, it's uncomfortable and a little painful as he kind of does the thing where he kind of disinfects it, and he wraps around it. This is kind of standard procedure here. He would tell you that like they could use him using divine magic is kind of an emergency procedure, and they try to use the traditional methods if it's not an emergency. It's basically like calling the non-emergency line instead of calling the police.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so yeah, he begins to bandage you up and treats the wound, and it takes about a half an hour or so. It should be good for now. Let's go to downstairs with everyone else as he begins escorting you back down to where everyone is.
All right. Zoom.
All right. When Malcolm and Dante get back, because I assume you guys are coming back to the school, it takes you about an hour if after you went to the graveyard and located the grave that you desired. You notice when you get to the school that the kind of gates are closed.
He headbutts the gate.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a barred gate and it has kind of a lock on it right now.
He kind of goes over this side and tries to look this way to see if there's anyone in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of students and teachers you see just kind of gathered up in the yard here. You see like the servitor skeletons just kind of lined up waiting to the side.
Dante, we're missing a party!
Malcolm, I don't think they would have locked up the... And then he just kind of looks in to see the crowd.
Yeah.
We forgot to RSVP!
Malcolm, some sort of commotion ended up happening. That's why they've locked the place down, I'm pretty sure.
And I will say Nicholas sees Malcolm and Dante.
Oh.
Kind of at the gate. Like you can see through the gate. It's kind of like preventing you from escaping unless you like climbed over it. It's about 10 feet tall. But
Nick's not exactly gonna do that right now.
But yeah, you see them on the other end of the gate.
All right. Then Nick is going to use message to talk with them while just sort of sitting here.
Okay.
And he is gonna say, "We did some exploring, but Proteus ended up tripping an alarm. I managed to get up, but I don't know what's happening with him." He's probably telling this to Dante.
Good choice.
Since Dante can respond. So you have no idea where Proteus is. Assumedly, he's still wherever he was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. For now, I'm just going to play things casual.
What should we even do then, since we're not getting in? Now with the whole campus locked down.
We'll try and meet up maybe at... You can if you want to wait in the front of the campus, you can. Otherwise, we'll try and meet up at the inn.
Right.
Meanwhile, Malcolm's sitting at the gate like it's jail bars, holding on to him.
Let me in! Let me in!
It actually brings you back to Helmsworth, where you know, the graveyard on the other end.
There's even grass on the inside.
Okay. So you're just gonna kind of all wait it out.
Seems
Meanwhile,
like it.
Proteus,
Oh boy.
you
Oh,
dimension.
Reappear for like 2 hours.
Yeah. You appeared. You said you were gonna appear right there, right?
Yep.
Yep. All right. At this point, there's no more alarm going, but the library is deadly quiet.
Yeah. I still look like I still have my skeleton get up going, but I'll still peek around and see who there.
All right. You peek around the corner. Roll a stealth check.
All right, what's the lighting in here?
It's lit.
Okay. 25.
You peek around the corner and you see one of the steel defenders. And that's all you really see down here. You're like nothing is really out of your line of sight here unless it's hiding. Is what I'm saying. Like nothing's down here with you.
Yeah. There's two of them. Because there's normally skeletal like dudes down here, right?
Not right now. The only two. Well, the only one thing.
Yeah, so
you
it's
can
like
see
I would
them-
notice the absence of skeletal workers here now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to reveal myself.
What do you do?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Uh, um, yeah, I think the best thing for me to do, which is really scary, is going to be casting Phantasmal Force on this Mechagross
Okay.
and make him hear a sound in between these bookshelves so I can hopefully get out of here. Actually, no, before I do that,
Hmm.
I probably want to doff the disguise. If the disguise would make me just as conspicuous as a student, I better not have it.
Okay. So you're taking off the disguise.
Yeah, I'm going back into Stantler mode.
Okay. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna cast Phantasmal Force.
Yeah, on the Mechagross.
All right. 10.
All right. He fails, so he's going to hear the sounds from over here.
And you see it get up and begin moving over.
All right, and now I'm going to try to get out of here.
Okay. You're gonna go up the stairs.
Yeah, well, they're not looking.
Okay. You begin climbing the stairs then. You can ascend up the stairs. In the library, you hear some talking.
Oh boy.
It sounds like Mordain and one of the Elias or Roy. You haven't really met them to know, but they seem to be discussing. They did a sweep of their. It's him saying we did a sweep of the library. Nothing seems to be down there, and they're just kind of in that conversation of we might need to look a little further, but we haven't found anything in here.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if I can sneak. Oh, I don't know if I can get into a better hiding spot. Like if this would be a better hiding spot, but I definitely want to not
Do another
get noticed.
do another stealth roll to kind of move your spot, see how quiet you can be.
Natural 20.
Perfect. You begin to sneak quietly and you get into that prime location there. Okay. They still seem to be talking. What is your plan of attack here?
I kind of just have to wait for them to leave, I think.
Well,
If they've already searched the library and didn't find me the first time, coming out now would be bad.
well, it seems like the way the conversation is going, they're going to check the library more thoroughly. And it's kind of in that state where the conversation is winding down. You know, I'll put it in your capable hands. Yes, yes, we'll find something, certainly.
Okay, I'm gonna make the sound of a how much range do I have with minor illusion?
30 feet.
No, it's like a million billion years. Yeah. I'm gonna put it way over here in this corner.
What are you going to look for? Or what are you going to
I'm
make?
gonna make it sound like a book fell. Wait, I can do both at the same time. I'll just make it look like a book fell.
Well, can you even see there? Because you got like a bunch of shelves in your way.
The point is I'll put it as far away from me as possible.
Well, they can't see you, and so you can't really see them, right? Like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here. Like, you can get to the edge of the bookcase and can maybe, like, see to there.
Yeah. So all of the bookcases are more or less going to be blocking my line of sight.
Yeah. Well, they can't see you, so.
All right. Then what I might want to do is actually just hurry them along instead. If I can, like, get over here. Like, I don't, and again, I don't, like, I could technically do this in a normal turn, if that means anything. I want to, like, move over here, cast it over here, and then keep going this way, and then hide behind the pillar.
Okay, I'll let you do that. Okay, and so the sound of a book falling, and you hear Elias say, "What was that?" And you hear his footsteps begin going over here. You didn't make a book, right?
No.
Okay. And he begins looking around, and you hear Mordain say, "It sounds like a book fell off the shelf."
All right. And then I'm going to try to, like, maneuver here so I can see, and then try to make it sound like their footsteps going this direction up these stairs.
Okay. I'm gonna have you do one more stealth roll in that case.
All right. 26.
At that point, Roy begins, "Oh, just a second!" And he begins running off, and he goes upstairs. And Mordain more or less follows, but he's not leaving the library.
All right. Then, because he would notice. I would assume he'd notice if I go towards this door, right? Like the main doors.
I would have it unless you do something else. You would do stealth at disadvantage.
Like trying to do math in my head. Feel like I might be able to pull that off. Mostly down to bardic inspiration. All right. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Because if Elias is up there, I don't want to go over to these stairs, because that might not go so well.
This is just to basically slip out of the library.
All right. Let's see.
That's a natural one.
Nice.
Do you want to use the reroll?
I'm like, if I roll the BI now, is that part of the reroll, or is that like gone forever if I use it now?
For simplicity's sake, I'll say it's kind of gone forever.
Okay, so the chances of me passing are actually still okay, but just to be safe, I'll use the reroll, which gets me a 12. And then with the BI, because I'm assuming that is a failure,
Yeah.
the D8, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, D8 plus 2.
So with that, I get an 18.
Then that is good enough for you to slip out. And you
And I'll
see
drop
a
concentration so the Mecha Gross will actually go back to where he was.
and yeah, you see they're more or less kind of dispersing now, but there's just a load of students just kind of gathered up here.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna try to blend in.
All right, just sitting by yourself. And
Hey, I'll probably try to slowly get near someone where you have like that 5 feet distance between you, where it's like you look like you could have been talking, but maybe not.
there and with that, with you're kind of in the clear right now. I'll say kind of it generally disperses, but then they're telling kind of everyone, all the students, to leave the school for today. And just everyone's a little confused as they begin filing out.
Yep, alright, Nick's gonna file out.
And you eventually reconvene with the party.
Yay.
Whew.
Alright, yeah. And as we're reconvening, Nick says, let's head back to the inn. We're clearly not, school's kinda not happening for today, so.
Was there a party crasher?
This is not answering that question.
All right, so to the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the end.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you take the lightning rail free of charge to the your luxurious inn. And
right.
you get to your room.
All right. Dante, do you want your $300 back?
I think you should hold on to them until you get more gold of your own.
Okay, well, I'll give you this diamond anyway.
Oh. Wait, didn't you use that for the...
No, I stole it.
Okay, Proteus, I don't know what happened down there, but why the frick did you steal a diamond?
You were there for that.
Wait, was...
Yeah,
no,
you were
that
there.
was- Oh, never mind, I was there. Well, I don't think I saw him steal the diamond, but... Right, I was there.
I mean, that is on brand for
Where did
Proteus,
you-
I suppose. You have a... if in case we need to cast that revivify spell of yours, you need one of these.
Yes, but where on earth would you have found this on campus?
There's a lot of storage rooms in the... We followed the secret...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't me who died, was it?
No, that wasn't me this time.
No, it's not you.
He's gone. Oh crap, he might actually be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my
Wait.
things.
You're back.
Oh, frick.
You cut
You're
out.
back.
I'm surprised. I thought it was Crow who cut out for a second. Whoops.
Nope, that was
But
you.
I didn't hear your entire explanation regarding like where you went.
Okay. Nick said, before we get into that, let's ward things up and let's make sure we're not being overheard.
Gonna cast Zone of Discretion there.
So you're back in your room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, when you get to the hotel,
Oh,
sitting in the lobby is Ivy, looking annoyed.
Oh,
oh no. Nick sighs and says, "What did Anna do this time?"
No, where were you? I mean, I just wanted to come over for a lovely breakfast,
Okay. I'm probably still gonna throw up Zone of Discretion just because
Well, we're in the lobby right now. We probably want to get to the room.
I can do it without verbal
thought-
component.
I thought she was in our room, unless I...
No, she's not in your room.
No.
She's in the lobby.
Yeah.
That's like Zone of Discretion follows me around. Is
Oh,
why I'd want to do it out here first.
okay.
Shall we?
'Cause,
We go to your luxurious room.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. And you take the little lift up there. She's holding something, by the way. It looks like a letter.
Oh boy, more letters from those guys.
Oh boy.
It's actually like, it looks like it actually like really, it's like on fire. It's an envelope with a seal on it that has been broken. And
Oh man, Three Eyes has gotten money.
and it one of you, or okay, let's implement this. Anyone who has a +3 in perception can do a roll right now.
+3.
Oh, that ain't me.
Well, I wonder.
A
I think
+3.
Malcolm might have it.
Oh wait.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
right. Malcolm
Yeah, you have a
is
+3, right?
+4.
Oh
I
man.
can't believe him with a +11. I still rolled a 13.
Ugh.
15.
Better than me.
I love how he got your natural.
What
bonus.
letters can't you read, Malcolm?
Well, let's see here. A B C D F G H I J K P Q V W X and Z.
All right. I know, just to be maybe you pointed out to someone who can read, and it says it seems addressed to the esteemed protectors of Loomhausen. And she's just kind of holding it in her crossed roserate arms right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll reach the room before doing anything, though. If there's someone in there that we need to mug,
Yeah.
Zone of Discretion is very good at allowing this to happen.
And you eventually get to your room, and you close the door. And she says, "Where the hell were you? I came here in the morning. You weren't here."
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Feels like it's been a couple weeks almost. But
It's a weekend.
yeah.
What are you doing at school?
Well,
Well,
you know what our job is, and I'd say that's perfect to do on a weekend.
I found out where your brother's ether went. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah. Does QM mean anything to you?
No.
Because I'm assuming it's something on the ice continent. I don't know if you have any details on that, but since both you and your brother came from there, and for all we know, Ether itself came from there, someone's there. Got that.
QM.
Pro.
QM.
Oh, that's that's the bunch of idiots my mother hijacked, I think. They get this. They call themselves. Okay, you're. This is hilarious. They call themselves the Queen's Men, and their leader is called the Queen of Thieves. What a stupid name! It's probably some idiot. Doesn't know how to do anything.
That's certainly lacking in originality, I can't deny.
Still a named organization.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
Queen of Thieves. What? She's a queen of a bunch of brigands. I guess my mom was going for the low hanging fruit there.
Suppose so, yeah.
Yeah. Fair point, though. Seems like the school I think I've discovered some of the darkest secrets of the school, though, to be honest. It seems like it might be connected to the void.
To the void?
what?
What the heck happened to you when we separated Proteus?
I found another secret passage, which led to many different things, though. Yeah. Either way, I found where some of those experiments seem to have been taking place, at least the ones of grafting to natural Pokemon.
So it is coming from university at that point.
The university has a portal linked up to it for sure.
Well,
Well,
are you forgetting about me? I came here because I wanted breakfast, but I was also supposed to deliver this to you. And she gives you a letter that's already been like ripped open in the top.
Yeah. Does it look like she did that herself?
Yeah. It has like a seal, like deuterium seal on it and everything, but like it's been broken. And...
Good, she's reading her mail.
it's rude to read other people's mail.
No, I think that's good. We call it security clearancing.
It's rude to think I care.
It's rude to think you care.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't give this crap half a mind anyway.
I may as
Oh,
well see what it is. And Nick's gonna take the letter and read it.
Oh.
Huh.
And yeah, it says that.
Wow, it would see why they gave it to Ivy then, because I guess she was technically there too.
Should we read it for the audience?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can read it for the
All
audience.
right. To the esteemed protectors of Loomhausen, allow me to extend my most sincere gratitude. If not for your swift and decisive action during the chaos at the Blue Rose Theater, I and several citizens might not be here today. The oozes, whatever their origin, were a grave threat, and you rose to the occasion with the poise and valor of true professionals. While I regret that such an event cast a shadow on an otherwise illustrious afternoon, your presence turned a tragedy into a testament of courage. Loomhausen is safer for your efforts. Though I do not yet know your names personally, I would like to remedy that. As a gesture of appreciation on behalf of the Deuterium Corporation and myself, I would be honored to receive you at our headquarters this Sunday morning. We've arranged for a private tour and a modest reception to show our thanks and perhaps discuss how individuals of your unique talents might find future opportunities within our shared vision of a better, brighter world. Enclosed you will find four temporary guest passes valid for the day of your visit. Please present them upon your arrival at the North Gate. Our staff will be expecting you. Once again, thank you for saving lives, for preserving peace, and for reminding this city that heroes still walk among us. Warmest regards, President D. Voss, Chief Executive Officer, the Theorem Corporation.
Oh.
Ah,
Well,
now we're being invited into the theorem.
Yeah, I think you should just don't go.
Why?
Because he's a... Well, you hear about what happens to people who get too close to them.
oh, I'm well aware, believe me.
Not that I'd care if you, like, disappeared or anything. All that would make me have to do is just find some new people to protect me, so I can't have you disappearing, can we? Huh?
No.
At the same time, I mean, we kind of got to figure out what's going on with them. I mean, you know?
No way they would let us in through the front gate, because if they try to let us in through the front gate, the riot would get inside the courtyard.
Well, this is such a stupid ploy by this prick. He just wants to know more about you.
Yeah.
Imagine at the same time, wouldn't it draw more suspicion if we didn't go?
It would, technically, yeah. Let me think.
It's not exactly a win-win scenario.
I think we'll certainly need to keep our wits about us, but at the same time, I think getting a personal tour of Deuterium might actually benefit us in the long run.
They're gonna show you the basic, safest things. Like, come on. You think he's gonna let you go there and see their deep, dark secrets?
Obviously not.
No.
He's just gonna give you a crappy little tour, and then he's gonna talk to you. He's gonna try and figure out stuff about you.
I don't exactly like the idea of having to go in and be interviewed like that, but... I mean, if we don't go, then what? We start becoming more suspicious for what reasons we couldn't. Especially at an invitation like this.
Well, you don't work for him.
Don't, but...
Or maybe Ivy just didn't see us and didn't get it to us in time.
Exactly. How is it gives the smartest advice out of all of you?
I've been learning from a teacher.
She doesn't know how to respond to that.
Dante just face palms.
I'm more inclined to, even if we don't see much, just seeing possibilities and potential avenues of entry and exit could be useful to us. And it's not like he can get anything off of us that we don't want to give him.
Yeah.
Admittedly, though, Malcolm is kind of right about the whole not seeing the first place, and I mean, we have bigger concerns now with the university.
After all, we're protectors. We gotta protect the city, even if that means we don't get to go to parties.
Yeah, I'm not too beat up about it if we decide not to go, but I think it presents an opportunity.
Well, if you do, don't blame me if he talks you into a corner and you hum and haw, not knowing how to respond.
We've already got so much to worry about. I don't know if we can handle more on our plate right now.
Yeah,
Besides, we're gonna be tired after tonight.
I'm already tired.
Alright, then I suppose... yeah, we just won't go.
Good. Now order breakfast.
Okay. And
Isn't it
Malcolm
like-
goes up.
Isn't it like noon now?
Yeah, exactly.
That's lunch then.
Yeah, but I came over here for breakfast.
Yeah, Proteus.
Yeah, Proteus.
He's just gonna roll his eyes at the rest of you.
Malcolm's gonna go
Dante's-
to the phone or bell or whatever it is that they use, can on a string.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, hello.
Yeah, and then you'd hear the the drive-through speaker go, "Hello, welcome to the dining at the new hotel." I guess for
Tarts, please.
yeah, well, that's part of the breakfast spread. You can still get them. You have all-day breakfast. You want that, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And grass.
Grass. I'm sorry, sir, but we don't carry. Do we carry grass? Just a second. Sorry, sir, we don't have grass available.
Never
Do you have
do this.
do you have a salad?
Yes, we do. We do have some very solid. We have Caesar. We have Asiago. We have all sorts of salad. You want the garden?
Yeah, just give me the green stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Just dry salad. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, and the breakfast spread. Okay, got it. Is that's your order, correct? Do you want to supersize that?
More salad.
More salad, okay. And I see your room is already got a pay source attached to it, so we'll be right up there pretty soon. Okay, thank you for going to room service at Loophole Hotel.
Thanks. He hangs up. Guys, they didn't have grass. We gotta give them a low star review.
How do you know what star reviews are?
I don't know. I thought I heard it from one of the kids in the school somewhere. You gotta give like a place reviews when you go there, and it has something to do with stars. So I'm guessing it has something to do with nighttime.
Yeah. And so
His mind just instantly goes to Owen.
Oh.
And so the spread comes up on Skipper comes up with his trays and puts it on your table, and Ivy's sitting there just kind of eating while you can talk more.
I assume at this point we have the zone discretion and everything up after.
Yeah.
Oh, the zone's discretion's been up the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what'd you find, Proteus? You told us some of it, but is there anything else?
Oh, there's quite a bit, but that would take a long time. Probably an hour and a half to talk about.
There was that much.
Yeah. To be honest, depending on how much the security detail is going to go, we might already be too late to get some of our most important evidence.
What do you mean?
Well, how's a body sound?
What do you mean a body?
A body's been what?
You mean you found the dead students, or
No. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it, but Mordain is dead. We never knew
Excuse me?
him.
what?
We never knew him.
Is this a riddle or something? Because I ain't good at those.
So
Proteus, okay, if Mordain's dead, then who's at the library?
Proteus
even-
shrugs and
illusionist?
he'll pull out the image capture and show them the image of Mordain.
Yeah, and what you see is he's just laying in this casket made out of ether with this kind of jelly over him.
You want to see crimes
Oh.
against humanity, Ivy?
What?
Well, he's just like, well, Proteus is just showing this picture around. He's just, I imagine she's just like in a chair eating things, and she's like looking over the chair, like what?
It's a, what? It's a dead owl. Why do I?
What do you want from me?
Yeah. Well, with ether, a giant bolted down casket, and some necromancy gel on top. He's not truly dead, from what I can tell, but he's also definitely not around.
Okay.
So we've been
Maybe
talking.
we should ask that nice bird lady about it.
Oh, it was definitely Necronomicon related, or ooze related. Well, no, it wasn't an ooze, but definitely Necronomicon related.
Joy.
And having to find a more powerful necromancer for this sort of thing. And given servitor problem.
What to explain why Mordain has been kind of suspicious.
I suppose, yeah.
Then who exactly is this Mordain?
Like I said, probably some sort of illusionist or something.
I doubt he's an illusionist. I probably would have figured him out by now if that were the case. Alter self is something I would struggle much more to identify.
Evil twin.
Evil twin that apparently can't cast magic.
Malcolm shrugs. I mean, the other Malcolms can't do my explodey thing so far as I know, so...
But they're not your twin. Some of their eyes are different lopsided to yours.
I guess so.
But it could be a simulacrum.
That's a funny word.
But, that's just spinning wheels as to what happened. We don't really know, and we're not really going to find out by trying to spin wheels. But what I can tell you is if they suspect I got as deep as I did, he's probably toast. It is not going to take much to kill him.
You'll have to. Tomorrow at school's gonna be iffy. We may have to see how the situation changes.
Well, why haven't they already killed him? I'm sorry, I'm eavesdropping in your conversation, but why haven't they already killed him? If they
Oh, you
even
can't eavesdrop.
Probably to frame him.
No, I think that he's got something useful to him. If I were to guess, the original Mordain might be monoborn. Because they've been doing studies on that.
Or they
guess-
just need like a puppet or something so that they can see what's going on at the school.
That's
I mean,
what.
yeah,
Mal-
but why keep the original body alive unless they need it for this other copy?
Well,
That's
yeah,
probably
but that's why we
exactly-
need to. That's why we need to talk to the necromancy teacher. She's got
Well-
that.
Nightingale.
Yeah, Nightingale. We should talk to her. She's smart and knows
thing
about
is-
dead things.
Their studies require a constant stream of mana-born blood. And that was the
what?
only one I could find. I found many caskets. That was the only one with someone inside.
I don't.
And
I
they
want
are
to.
continuing these experiments. They have not stopped them. And they don't have access to a whole lot of mana born unless they're working with the MDRA, which, that would be weird.
I don't suspect. I think that you're you're not on the right track because we know, at least as far as people are aware, the original Mordain was not monoborn. This false copy certainly could be that's hanging around the library, but we know Mordain is not monoborn. So unless unless that copy itself is who was interviewed and brought in and it's not monoborn. I think that
The more
I don't.
likely is
I, yeah, I think it's what Malcolm said. Is I think something about whatever they have there allows the other Mordain to be able to go in and just spy on people. Oh no, I've died again.
No,
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 yeah.
you
nope,
have.
you're still here.
Oh, okay.
Well, if they wanted to throw people off their tracks, then they probably need someone on the inside who could do all these things. Like Professor Kellis told us, like they need a teacher to make the note that was going to try to trap us, and they need someone who could go in and put uh the dead book in with Professor Nightingale.
So that just makes it seem like it's this Mordain copy.
Well, it depends on how long Mordain's been hired there, to be honest, for all we know. If he was there for a
Well-
long time, switching him out would have still required some sort of turnover period, right? And if he's relatively new, then he might not have been there to begin with.
Is this Mordain copy thing all you've learned? All you learned about down wherever you were?
Well,
You
I
mentioned
also,
something involving the void.
oh yeah, there's just a portal to the void
What?
with a laboratory in it, and artificer necromancy hybrid shenanigans. Found a dude with ether inside of him. That was interesting.
That's disturbing.
Oh yeah, I found Owen too, or at least what's left of him.
Wait,
What's left of
you found the missing students?
Maybe. I can tell you I at least found Owen's brain.
His brain?
Yes.
Dante just kind of slowly looks up from eating at Proteus and just dead-eyed. What do you mean his brain?
I mean, it's as straightforward a statement as can be said.
Yeah, there's one slight problem with that. Brains kinda don't exist on their own.
Yeah, well, again, artificer and necromancy hybrid. They have plenty of books you could read about this subject if you want to.
No thanks.
I'm gonna need to learn more letters for that.
I don't think that you want to become a surgeon, Malcolm. Surgeons have to stay inside all day with lights in their eyes and no grass.
Oh, well, it didn't sound so bad until you said no grass.
Yeah, well, it's also in the void, which by definition has no grass.
How do you know it's in the void?
Because I found the dude's study, and the plane apparatus had the void as the center. A lot of maps focus on your current location and relation to other locations.
Well, that don't mean it's where you are. It just means it's the center.
Yeah, but why would you make a map where you're not in the middle of it?
Well, it was, to clarify, it was a model, not a map.
Well, either way, working with the planes, it seems a little weird to me if all you want to do is make bodies.
Do you have... Did you get more image captures or anything like that of any of the stuff he found there?
Well, I had to leave most everything undisturbed. If I disturbed anything, it would have
Revealed
given.
you're there, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
your spell stuff. Did you get any of that?
I've got enough to show Estelle, I think.
Okay, then
You know,
yeah, I think
the
I
hour
think
and a
tomorrow.
half version.
Okay, then yeah, I think we ought to tell Estelle, tell the dean, and maybe tell Nightingale what we saw. So yeah, I guess we have a good reason not to go attend our party.
Yeah, we're gonna be at school. Oh wait, they own the school.
Well, we didn't get the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they find out we're on campus.
Well, if you want my opinion on your stupid little plan here, you know, you should keep stuff on a need to know basis because you might end up actually telling the one responsible for all of this your plans and they're just going to vamoose.
We
Yeah.
at least know
Well,
Nightingale is safe bet to not be whoever's doing this. We know she's being framed. Dean Woodrow was the one asking us to look into this in the first place.
Well,
I
that
don't know about
doesn't
telling anyone
mean
else.
he's innocent.
it doesn't, but we also, I don't know. It feels weird for the dean to be asking us to look into a missing student's case. If he was the cause of it, why would he just not let it go?
See, if you ask those kind of questions, we're going to be speculating all day.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I think the dean's a good bet just because I don't suspect. I mean, we could certainly probe some things first if you want to do that before we actually tell him, but I suspect the dean, Estelle, and Nightingale are good bets.
I mean, out of all the staff on campus, we know the least about him.
Hmm. I suppose that is technically fair.
So I guess Malcolm go into his office and see if you can find any pictures of his children.
Okay.
Don't actually do that.
Oh, okay.
Well, regardless, we know we're telling Estelle, so I'll get a sending towards her.
Yeah, though. Well, yeah, I'll have a project to do at night then.
We all
Well,
do.
We already
yeah,
have.
we all do.
Well, when I'm sleeping. Wait, are you planning on actually throwing the midnight oil at this?
Well, depends on how long it takes, but
We have to go visit the graveyard.
All right, well, if anything of importance happens tomorrow, if we burn the midnight oil today, I will be completely useless tomorrow.
I guess you can stay here and sleep.
I'm like, I guess above character, would we have enough time to go there at night and come back without interrupting a long rest?
The graveyard?
Yeah.
Well, you just have to sleep in a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Sleeping in is fine.
Okay.
Is that all you're doing here?
give me a second. I'm typing out my sending to make sure it fits the words.
Okay.
We still have our questions written down somewhere.
I do, yes.
Good.
They should be somewhere up in the chat. Okay, yeah. Nick's gonna take one of his setting spell scrolls, and he's going to
Oh,
wait a
wait a minute. Ivy probably shouldn't be here when Estelle gets here.
Well,
I don't think Estella's gonna show up within the next 10 minutes.
yeah,
You
I
never
think
know. She might be in the lobby for some reason.
Oh, so what? You want me to leave now?
Oh, I mean, she's one of the people that told us to get rid of the dragons, and we didn't get rid of you, and we don't want her to find out you're a dragon because we don't want to get rid of you.
Well, okay. Well, if that's the case, she wants to get rid of that thing impersonating me and just say that was the dragon.
we certainly could try to if we ever end up encountering it.
And try to get rid
The
of
other
those.
problem is
Try to get rid of those oozes too. I don't want them doing that again.
Yeah, that's on our to-do list.
I think the bigger issue is just the fact that conversations with Estelle are supposed to be private, and if you were to be here, then, well,
Yeah, that probably ain't gonna make her too happy.
Well, fine, I'll go, but I'm taking these with me. And she shovels some of the food in a bag.
That's okay. I got it for you anyway.
Well, I didn't want to hear your stupid conversations anyway.
Okay.
You better not disappear
I don't plan on it.
or die or whatever.
that's
Okay.
Still-
don't plan on it.
I'm going. And she leaves.
All right. Then yeah. Now Nick is going to use sending, and he is going to say, "Found a ledger that involves ether smuggling. Also found missing students. Come as soon as you can. Also bring C invisibility scrolls."
Okay. She responds, "I will be there tomorrow morning."
Yeah.
She'll be here tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But no, he's saying that a lot to the party.
So about what time is it right now?
You are getting into late afternoon, like 4 or 5
All
o'clock.
right.
All right, let's rest up a bit, and then once we hit evening, we'll go grave digging.
All right, so you can, if you want, you can short rest or do some like downtime activities if you wish.
Yeah, Nick is gonna roll a hit dice to heal that wound he gave him. So
Yeah.
Reading book.
Okay.
Recover spell
Nope.
slot. I don't need Nistel's magic aura anymore, but I really wish I had it before. Wait, mirror image. Hello, why am I not preparing you?
okay, Nick is fully back, and I'm gonna swap around some of his attunements just in case, because the Sunfather Shroud is not gonna help him in the middle of the dark.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
That's what's still written down.
Slots for it anyway. I've got one spell slot.
So
Wait,
that's not a
why am I have
thing.
spells used?
did you forget to?
Recover after.
I might have
resting.
forgotten to.
Yeah. Because the first thing we did this morning was wake up and then go to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should not have any used.
But I guess Proteus
Oh, wait.
will say, to be honest, I think we're going to be getting in over our heads soon.
In what way?
I mean, in the we're going to disappear and never come back way. Do you have any idea how close that came to actually happening? There's a reason I didn't respond to her.
I mean, I won't deny that this is dangerous, but I don't know, you saw what you saw, can you ignore it now?
Well, what I'm saying is we are going to be asked to be a 4-man army against that, a mech dragon, and slimes, and also try to do it without letting anyone lose face, without getting anyone else involved, and while also trying to make sure we don't let a single shred of ether away from the MDRA's precious little fingers. That's what we're being asked to do.
You put
Well, I
it
mean,
that way, it doesn't sound possible.
well, someone's got to do it.
And do you think we're actually capable of doing that, Malcolm? And why are we actually helping the MDRA keep a lid on a monopoly?
Well, I mean,
Why are
she
you
says she wants to
asking?
help people and protect them. And isn't that what we're trying to do?
See,
Whether you want to help her or not, someone's got to do something about all this.
here's the thing is, like I said, I'm not doing this strictly for the MDRA. What you saw and what's happening is by and large, and far beyond anything I could just simply ignore. The ether will probably get out, but at the very least, Estelle's help is going to be useful for us to potentially take things on. And besides, where we could just cut and run and ignore everything, but I refuse to let that happen. We're
Imagine the
far too deep to just leave it here. Sorry, Dante, continue.
I imagine the ether situation's already a tough one, considering you said it was an entire casket lined with it.
I mean,
That's a
the ether's
lot.
been out for a while. The MDRA is just harvesting it from the cave we reported, and apparently there are other caves also growing the stuff. Like, it is well beyond the point of being contained.
What's that got to do with helping people?
Because the MDRA wants us to help them keep a lid on this, keep a monopoly on it. They don't want us to drag in people that can help us help other people. What is Estelle going to say if we try to bring Rebecca with us? Don't do it. Do you really trust them? Can they really be there with us? She's going to say stuff like that. She's going to try to edge us away from utilizing other people. Or if we ask, we need the Hallowed Flames. This is a serious threat with very serious necromancers. This is what their job is to keep a lid on these things. She's going to say, no, 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 don't do that. They'll destroy everything. So she wants us to shoulder all the burden by ourselves. There are people who are also willing to help that she is keeping away.
So you want to tell the Hallowed Flames then?
I don't understand where this is coming from.
Yeah, I see your point. I don't know what you're protesting against, though. Like, if you wanted me to not tell Estelle of what we saw, well, you probably should have told me before I used sending on her. And
It's more, what do we want to tell Estelle when she gets here? Because if we are cutting, that's something we probably would want to say to her. But I personally want to tell Estelle that if they want us to keep pushing in deeper, we need to be shown that we have allies who are actually willing to put forth the effort with us.
so basically, you want to give her an ultimatum.
Something like that.
No.
This would kind of be a good way to see what Estelle's real motives are here. I mean, does she value keeping people safe, or does she value keeping this ether stuff a secret? What's more important to her?
Hmm. And if that line of questioning goes wrong,
Well, that's, I guess, to each of us our own. I'm perfectly fine with keeping the MDRA away from me.
I suppose basically the way I'm thinking is if we go with Proteus's line and say we're going in pretty deep and we might need some extra support, we'll see if she offers anything or not. If she says that we need to keep things still on the down low and stuff like that, and we're not going to get offered any help, then I think we just tell her that we accept it and start getting our own help. But if she does offer help, then we'll see what support we can get through it.
I kind of agree with Nick.
We don't necessarily
If
need
she
to.
don't want to give us help, that's fine. But if we need help, we're gonna have to find it ourselves.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, if we're going to play this line of questioning, then yeah, that's how I think we ought to do things. Not necessarily say, all right, we're going to go get help our own, but say, hey, we need extra help. Do you think that is something the MDRA is going to be capable of? Because this is by and far beyond us. And if she says no, and I need you guys to do this on your own, then yeah, we shrug it off and we start looking outside of the MDRA.
Oh, you're gonna go tell her that we're just gonna go find our own allies and keep going then?
Oh, I'm
Nah,
not
she
going to
don't
tell
need
her
to know
that.
that.
Yeah, like Malcolm said, she doesn't need to know that. That's just what we'll.
about already not telling her about Ivy.
Yeah, we're already Wow, Dante, I honestly didn't expect you to be on board with this, but yeah, there's already stuff we're not telling her about anyways, so we'll leave the we'll see what help we can get, and if she doesn't, then we'll just leave out that we're going to get extra help, but we're going to get extra help.
I agree with the idea of getting extra help. The bigger issue I had was outright cutting out the MDRA if we didn't, ask in the first place. So I'm more fine with this plan than, just
I don't
giving
think
Estelle an ultimatum.
I don't think we need to straight up cut out the MDRA at this point in time, but I do think we need to be at the point where if the MDRA is not going to give us that push, then yeah, we go.
Right, then I think we have a plan.
Yep.
Okay, so what time are you kind of doing the short rest till?
What time does it generally get dark?
Around like 6, 7. 7, it's pretty much dark out.
Well, it takes like an hour to get there, so we can move at 6. It'll be dark at 7, right?
Yeah, but we want it to also not be crowded, and even at 7, people are still going to be out.
Yeah, I'm thinking we leave at 7 and get there at 8.
Works for me.
All right.
We effectively have to stake the place out until we have a moment to try digging up the grave.
All right. So which direction on this here map are you going to take?
I think we're gonna want to exit out of this exit here. Both because it's closer and because I feel like if we exit out of the slums, it might draw
Actually,
some.
yeah. So out this way, we don't
just
even
have to
need
walk
to take
that
the
way.
lightning rail.
All right.
All right, yeah, we wouldn't even have to take the lightning rail if we just walk out this way.
Yeah. Cool. Malcolm and Dante's pockets thank us.
It also doesn't leave a money trail, and people don't see us come back. Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
so you're just gonna walk there then, which will take more or less the same time as if you like went like that. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So on your way there, roll a d6, everyone.
Yep, I knew it was coming. Here we go, boys.
1.
No.
3, 2, 5.
I
Ah.
could feel
1,
it.
3,
I
2,
knew
5.
it.
All right.
You can always feel it, can't you?
So you make your way through this. It's more or less like it's more of a higher class slum. Like it's not as ritzy as inside the, but it's not as destitute as the slums.
Just low class rather than outright destitute.
Yeah,
Section 6 is opposition to Section 7.
yeah. You but yeah, you make your way to the graveyard, Loomhalsen's graveyard, and the night air begins to creep in as low-hanging fog, as it's typical in these graveyards, just begins to roll along the ground, and it's a very quiet night. And you see the field of tombstones before you as you enter the cemetery.
All right, you found the right one.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Keep our eyes peeled.
All right.
Stay hidden. Keep a lookout as best as I can.
Okay, you walk.
Given what we're about to do, Dante's just kind of muttering scriptures under his breath.
All right.
I'm back in the shadows. I can't fail the stealth check, so.
Oh yeah, just dashing between tombstones. Yeah, you see the hundreds of tombstones just erected from the ground, and some mausoleums in some places for more important people that have passed away. But Dante and Malcolm lead you to the tombstone of Timothy.
Anyone got a shovel?
I have one right here.
Is that adventuring equipment?
I imagine it's like one of those like portable shovels that you just kind of pull up.
You could sort of tell Nick's here shivering and breathing heavily as he's sort of bracing himself.
All right.
Dante's probably going to hand the shovel over to Malcolm.
Yep.
All right. You begin moving the soil and earth as you begin digging, Malcolm. And about 6 feet, chunk, chunk, you hit something wooden.
Guys, there's a tree down here.
No, that's a casket, Malcolm.
What's that?
It's where they put the dead people.
Oh, okay. I think I found it then.
All right. And yeah, you begin kind of unearthing it, and it's to call it a casket is a bit of a stretch too, since he was part of the slums. It's pretty much just like just a wooden box.
Okay, Malcolm opens it, and there's probably like a skeleton inside, right?
There is a decomposing breloom inside.
Ugh.
Nick sort of
I think we
flinches
found
and
the missing janitor, guys.
Malcolm.
What?
Yeah, Nick just sort of flinches and his paws clench a little. All right, Dante.
Ready?
About as ready as I can be.
And
The coast is clear, right? I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, the coast is clear.
Okay.
Dante is going to cast Speak with Dead.
All right. So you stand above the corpse, and you let out these low guttural, almost prayers out that just begin taking form and kind of encompass the corpse, as the eyes just open, and it's only its face is really animate, while the rest of it is still like a still dead body. But its just face is just kind of blankly staring at you with its mouth. You could see almost these spectral muscles like form in it.
Dante gives Nick a nod.
All right,
Second,
and I.
I'll put them in parsers right there.
Okay, thank you, because I could not.
Those were the 4 that we had.
I could not find those for some reason. Okay. All right, Nick takes a deep breath and feels kind of weird talking himself in the third person, but he says, "What did you see that caused you to tell Nicholas not to go to the university?"
A murder.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did I die?
No.
A murder. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can now.
Okay. He said the corpse says, a murder.
Was it the murder of Professor Ledric?
What are you asking?
Was it the murder of Professor Ledric?
Yes. Sabotage.
Who was it that initiated the sabotage and murder?
The murder in Azangus.
Let's see. We got 2 more
How'd they
questions.
do it?
Oh, well, that's up to... Well, I guess anyone... Could only the initiator ask, or is it only... Can anyone ask?
You can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. It's just kind of vague in that regard.
Okay, well, to Malcolm's quote... What was your question, Malcolm?
How'd they sabotage it?
A bomb. Or explosive, I guess would be more accurate.
Yeah, what? One more?
Yep, one more.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the flute.
Yeah, I'll probably ask about the 5.
Was there anyone who took any special interest in the Fife of Dragons song while you had it?
No. And then the corpse just kind of sinks back in.
Good night. And Malcolm's going to climb out and start filling the grave back in.
Yeah, Malcolm, rebury him.
Yeah, Malcolm starts putting the dirt back in.
All right, well, we got our answer. It's not an answer I liked, but it's one I'm expecting. But oh my god!
So Wolverick is involved with the murder then.
Kind of what it
Yes.
sounds like.
Does that mean he's also in league with Kronos now, then?
I wouldn't assume that this happened a year ago. Remember?
That would mean he'd sever ties with the murder, then, though.
I mean,
But
he could have
still,
just.
it means
Let's
he might
stop.
have had. We shouldn't be
Let's stop-
asking these questions here.
Yeah, and let's not focus on the Kronos part. We've got more important things to worry about. We got our answer, so let's head back.
After Malcolm's done digging it up.
Yeah, once Malcolm's done, let's head back.
All right. Which way are you gonna head back?
Do we want to circle?
Okay.
Do we want to
Do
just
you want
do
us-
a full U-turn, or do we want to continue around and like?
I mean, I imagine we'd want to just go back the way we came. If we go the
I'm
long
not so
way,
sure. I'm not so sure about that because if we go back the way that we came, that means someone could see us coming back, and if we go back a different way, that means there's not going to be. That means even if someone in the different way saw us coming, they didn't know where we're going to. So I think we should go the long way. Crow said it takes about the same amount of time either way.
Yeah, I mean, well, you'll have to pay, but yeah,
We'll have to pay, but I think it's
Yeah,
safer
that-
for covering our tracks.
that leaves
Yeah.
a money trail, as you said, Quill.
It leaves a one-way money trail.
It doesn't tell anyone where we got off. It just says we took the lightning rail. The cost of going from any stop to any other stop is the same.
yeah, I think it's best to go around.
So we're gonna go through the slums and then lightning rail back.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you wish to do?
That is what democracy has dictated.
Okay. Yeah, you
love democracy.
you begin going through the cobblestone path to the slums, and you're in the slums at nighttime, which it is a very different place here, where you kind of see just the occasional person just kind of hunched over walking through, and the still air here, almost like the air, just the feeling you get around here. It's just almost like you're almost looking over your shoulder everywhere you go. And you get to around the area where your folks' house was, Nicholas. And all of a sudden you hear in an alley glass shatter. Just this loud
Nick sort of probably glances in that direction, but he otherwise whispers to the party, "Did you guys hear that?"
Did we all
Did we
hear
hear
that?
Yeah, you all heard it.
Do you want me to try to make a louder one?
No.
All right, then we just keep moving, right?
I'm
We hear
suspicious.
screams or
There's glass shatter. It was glass shattering and then some footsteps.
was it in the direction, like specifically where Nick's folks were living?
Very close to it.
Too curious.
Well, you know what
This-
they say: curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
This is why we foxes stay away from the scene of the crime.
Right, but I'm see. Maybe I'm not the only one thinking it, but remember the whole problem with Ethereum down here and concerns about, well, Nick's grandparents.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't like the idea that maybe someone's snooping around the place. Maybe we just at least check out the house.
Yeah, we check it out real quick and then prepare to disengage and leave.
All right. What would your marching order be?
It sounds like Nick and Dante are probably
Okay.
up front.
Nick specifically?
Well, probably, yeah.
Okay.
Because it sounds like it's us two probably like taking the lead here, because the other two weren't as.
Well, Proteus wasn't. Malcolm hasn't said anything.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna go to?
Malcolm
If-
does what you tell him to do.
If you guys are going, like, Proteus is going to come with, but yeah, he's already said he's against it.
All right. I guess how do I want to do this? As soon as you round the corner, Nick, do a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh, joy.
Sorry.
Well, it's fine.
Malcolm would have done it at neutral.
Well, if it's a surprise, I don't think so, because I think he has to see it.
No.
Okay, well, I got a nat
Ooh.
1 already, so I failed.
Good. But you are pulled by a talon and black wings and pushed against a wall, and you feel a dagger against your throat, Nicholas. And you see it is a Murkrow, the rest of you, with a burn on his chest and, like, a burn on his face. And he says to you all, I love how that works every time. Now, don't try anything clever, or your friend bleeds out before anything comes my way. You got it? And if you do try something, there's 8 crossbows aimed at the most frail among you. I'd say it's that puny-looking fox over there. You got it? And there.
Sandler.
Oh yeah, that puny little Stantler over there. And they're all gonna fire at him and not to wound.
Can I look and see if I can even spot said crossbows? Like,
Before you even
is he
finish
bluffing?
that, he says to you, and if I see your eyes darting around, I'll tell them to fire. I'll let him check for me. And he nods to you, Nicholas. They're over in that house over there. That house over there. And I'll let you do a perception at advantage. He's pointing to several different houses.
Advantage doesn't usually help me, but we'll see.
You got your flat foot with it because of Jot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, 18.
Yeah, you see in several of these slum houses, there's arrow slits, and you can see it doesn't actually look like Murkrow, though. There's several different Pokemon all aiming at Proteus right now. With crossbows.
Oh. Looks like you got some friends, I see.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's go honest for a moment. You're not theater kids, are you?
Well, who do you want to be answering that question?
All of you. It's fine.
All right, well, I'm a theater kid.
What are you
I ain't.
What are you doing at the theater?
Acting.
Cut the
Save production.
crap. What are you doing there?
Trying to save a production.
Mm-hmm. And why is the murder targeting you?
They're not targeting us. They're targeting another actress.
They're
Why don't you know? Why wouldn't you know? Aren't you part of the murder?
Shut up. Why is the murder targeting you?
They want the actress dead.
No, they were targeting you back in Ironboach when you murked one of my men.
Oh, well. That's because we didn't like the boss that you had at the time, and we killed him. They seemingly have new management.
I'm not talking... I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about... in Alara's headquarters. You and the cat I'm holding murked one of my men for no reason. What were you even doing there?
At Alara's house?
At Alara's headquarters.
I don't remember the murder there.
All I remember is Alara's house. I don't think she had a headquarters.
You were in there. And you caused one of mine to get arrested. For no reason. And I know the murder's after you.
Alright, getting murked and getting arrested are two different things, my friend. You gotta accuse me of the correct crime.
Well, nonetheless. What were you doing in there? And why is the murder after you?
We were looking for information on the murder in there.
Mm-hmm. And why did you get one of my men caught? Why did you sabotage my operation there?
Because we thought that you were sabotaging ours.
Look. I want to know what you did to make them mad and why they're after the theater. If you can tell me that, and you're not lying to me or hiding anything, then we can all walk away from this.
Malcolm kind of scratches his head and he says, "Weren't it because we were taking care of that green dragon down there and they didn't want us doing that because they were working with him?"
More or less, yes.
But
I don't... What green dragon?
Well, there was this green dragon in the sewers, and he was, like, doing stuff to the town, and he was causing all sorts of problems, so we went down there, and he got squished by a spike or something when we were fighting him. And then he wasn't trying to control the town through the murder anymore.
which is why we were, well, why he was in the house in the first place. We were looking for sewer plans.
There's a dragon.
There was a dragon. Malcolm's wearing its scales as armor, if you're curious.
Yeah, it's true, see? He keeps me real protected, real good.
The murder's working for a dragon.
Was.
Oh, they were. Now they're just sort of causing all sorts of problems.
And they're targeting you because of that here?
I think
Presumably.
so.
If they've got another reason for targeting us, it's beyond us, but I assume that's why they'd be after us even here.
And they're targeting the theater right now. Why are they doing that? And I happen to see you for awfully interested in there. And even if you say you're working there, it's obviously you're not actors.
Well, not professionally trained anyway. Like I said, they have beef with the main actress. They sent the note after her.
After the main actress.
They sent a death threat to the main actress.
Do you know why they're targeting her?
They're targeting her because their new leadership wants her dead.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea who ordered this hit? Because the murder doesn't just make grudges, they do stuff for coin. Do you know who ordered the hit?
Yeah, though I'll admit I don't know how much money that person would have.
Yes, I just want to know who's doing it.
I don't think you would believe me if I told you the truth.
Humor me.
Alright. He's a fellow by the name of Kronos, and from what we can tell, he operates outside of time. And he's also a dragon.
Yeah, but he's like this little thing. It's only about this big, and it kind of looks like a toy.
Well, you're right. I'm like, I wouldn't believe you. But considering the circumstances, that would be a very dumb lie to make, wouldn't it?
Yeah. The truth, it's as they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
Is that all you know?
Pretty much.
Are you involved with the Deuterium in any way?
Nah.
We'd like to keep it to no.
Because to some degree, I think they're involved in it as well.
Well, the murder's absolutely involved with Deuterium.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you wouldn't be wrong there.
I mean, considering the leaks in the jail, it's hard to ignore that the one who is the sole proprietor of it isn't involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of sounded like we're actually allies here.
Yes, it's looking like we are. You won't make any moves, will you?
Nope.
If we're just here to talk, then we won't make any moves.
He shoves you forward, Nick. They're still trained on Stantler over there. For the time being, I don't think you need a knife at your throat.
Alright.
Well,
So,
I'm still a little pissed off you got one of my men arrested, but
if it means anything, it wasn't personal. They tried to get us arrested back, so...
well, I'm not here for the he said, she said. Do you know anything about Deuterium that I may not know?
Well, I guess, do you have any idea? Well, you've seen what's been going on around the city, or the reports around it, yes?
In terms of...
Well, all kinds of things.
Like
But-
the slimes, for example.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and I. Well, the less I say about that, the better, but.
Well,
Hmm.
I got a detail of something that happened. Well, you know about the slimes that showed up in the theater, right?
Yes, they were after Voss.
Okay, so you probably already figured that that's what they meant when they were saying things like revenge.
Mm-hmm. A professor of that school had a little accident about a year ago. And I believe that Mr. President was involved, and, well, the person who died in that didn't really die.
Well, that's news. Well, okay, it's less news. We know he became a skeleton, apparently.
No, his body was not recovered.
Oh.
He got turned into a slime, didn't he?
Yes, they'll tell you his skeleton is working amongst them, but it's probably not him.
Well, we suspect, though we don't have any proof, that Deuterium is currently involved in some experiments, shall we say.
Well, what I'm saying is you should let the slimes run rampant, encourage them to kill him.
Well, maybe if they're going after him, but if they're going after other people, we can still get rid of them, right?
Yes, they attacked the apothecary. That had nothing. Voss was not there. Why would they do that?
I don't know why they were doing that.
Any tie to theorem that.
But if he can conveniently be axed without someone doing the deed, that's all for the better, wouldn't you agree?
It would be, except for I suspect Deuterium probably has enough heads that they can handle having one severed head.
Yeah, and that means you just keep going.
So, what proof you got that it's actually the president that's behind all this, and not someone under him?
Let's just say I was there. I saw it.
Do you know who else saw it happen?
More or less, I saw the order being made by Mr. President Voss.
I see what you're saying.
And,
Hmm.
well, I went there that night, yeah.
So you were there when Ledric, well, got dead.
There was an explosion, and, well, I heard about the aftermath.
Did you happen to see anyone else running around when that was happening?
Look, I'm here about Voss, not to recount. I want the murder gone, and I want Voss gone.
Same here. But the questions we're asking, we're not asking out of nothing. Because we believe.
Well, I don't want to tread on irrelevant territory because it has nothing to do anything. The point is, Ledric died that day, and the murder carried it out while Voss ordered it.
So who are you anyway?
Well, I was a hitman for the murder. But, as I said before, I was forced to cut ties with them on very bad terms. Again, I don't want to go into it, but I want them gone.
Like I said,
I am,
same here.
I should say, I am not a good person. I'd knock off a toddler if you gave me enough coin. But that's besides the point. Would you want to work with me, knowing that?
I think I've worked with shadier people.
We have similar goals.
Well, do you have any way of... The slimes and oozes are unreliable. If you could get close to Voss and do it yourself, that would be ideal too. I don't know if you're willing to do such a thing. You said you work with shadier people.
It's less lack of willingness and more. Let's say we may have means of getting in there, but the problem is we're A, not planning on taking it because we've got other things on our docket, and B, the means would probably have us be heavily watched the entire time.
Not to mention that he probably sees us as being a potential threat to whatever he's doing, so he could probably bring us there and ask us all sorts of questions about ourselves that could get us in trouble.
Yeah, I would take him out when he goes on his strolls myself, but he's quite well guarded in ways you can see and you can't see.
What sort of ways that we can't see?
I don't know how new you are to Loomhausen, but you should know the technology here is very advanced, and as vulnerable as he seems when he goes outside, he is not in the terms of armor he is wearing.
Huh.
He did get out of the way of them slimes pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I noticed you saved him. And...
Well, I didn't have any reason to believe he was doing anything wrong at the moment.
I'm not faulting you for that. In fact, it means you could get closer to him. But you seem to not want to do that.
Getting close to him is definitely quite risky.
It is, but we both want the same thing, right?
We'll keep it in mind, but it might not happen the same way you are wanting it to happen.
Though I will also say the more Deuterum is aware of you, the bigger the risk will become. They seem to be working on next generation weapons, and you don't want to be its test subject.
Mm-hmm. I'm well aware of that too, as it seems you are. Project Horizon, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Though I
perhaps
suppose they have another one that they haven't mentioned either.
they probably have a lot of stuff that they don't mention. Might care to educate me, if in case I don't know.
Well, Seems like in the aftermath of killing that dragon, they decided to create their own. A mechanical allegory. They seem quite obsessed about trying to make it real, and they might soon find that possibility.
Do you, as bizarre as your dragon stories are, do you know why they would be after dragons? Or working with them?
Well, like you said, they're apparently trying to make them. As for why they're trying to make them, I can't say I know why.
Well, no. Loomhalsen, especially the University and Ethereum, are obsessed with becoming monoborn. And there are entities in the distant past that are said to be the progenitors of that. The nature of monoborn demons, and more specifically, dragons.
That may be why. Maybe they suspect dragon blood is their pathway to becoming monoborn or something like that.
Yeah, so the more we speak, the more your story seems to fall into place. And at the end of the day, I don't care about these politics. It's just simple vengeance for me. But it's good to know their motive.
Means you can potentially play around that. Know your enemy and you can lure them into a trap. After all, that's what you did with us.
Mm-hmm. If you want to talk more, go to the clinking bottle, ask for shade on the beach. For the time being, we can be allies. That's up to you. And he makes a whistle, and you just hear the click of weaponry, like, retreat into the houses, as he just kind of goes back into the slums.
Nick just gives a nod and he continues along his way.
Yeah. And you are just alone in the slums now.
Alright. Then, yeah, we're probably just going to continue back to the hotel without speaking too much.
Okay. I'll let you get back to the hotel. So it's kind of encroaching on, like, midnight now with the digging and the talking and the walking. But you are back in the hotel.
$20 lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we go to our room, Nick says, well, tonight's certainly been a night and a half.
Yeah, good thing no one got shot or stabbed or anything like that.
He's less trustworthy, and he says this in putting up quotations, allies.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing is we have the same goal. He definitely has the by any means necessary caveat.
Yeah. I don't know how well we can really work together. As much as I would like to go in there and step and do that job, unfortunately, I would also like to walk out of there afterwards, and that's not quite possible.
I don't
If we
think
did walk out of there, we
killing-
would then we'd have a massive bounty on our head, and, well, there'd go the theater plans, there'd go the university. There you go.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, we gotta figure
That's-
out a way to basically expose him to everyone if we're ever gonna do anything that without any repercussions.
I feel like exposing him is a better plan than killing him, honestly. Though I guess to
It-
be fair, we'd have to expose Dithyrum as a corporation, though I have no idea what authority would even be able to take them out, to be honest.
Is there like a greater ruling body on the air continent, or is it just sort of each town for itself?
It's more or less each town for itself.
Yeah,
Figure.
so, we have no real way of getting rid of him then. Or at least getting rid of Dithyrum's evil.
Well,
You'd have to turn public opinion so sour that they had no choice.
Oh no,
That's
you'd have
what
to
I-
go more than that. Have you seen their public opinion right now?
Like that
well,
enough.
see, their public opinion is bad, but
Problems they got them walking machines everywhere. If they wanted to, they could just pretty much say turn on everyone and that'd be it.
Well, if they did that, they would have no more income.
yeah. See,
No, but
that's
they'd
the
have a bunch of people to do stuff for them. You don't gotta
I-
pay them if you don't ask.
see. I think if we're right about what we've got, then the lightest revenge we can get is, at the very least, destroying their plans. But if that is the theorem run that we've ended up seeing, then completely throwing public opinion. And to be fair, while we may not be able to overthrow the theorem here, we can, at the very least, sour their reputation so far with all neighboring towns as well that they lose trade, they lose business, and they end up either having to clean up act or ran to the ground.
So much on our plate.
Well, that might just lead to war.
If that leads to war, then that leads to war. That's not my problem.
How is that not your problem?
It's a bit of an extreme take. War is everyone's problem.
I can't believe we're agreeing on something, Dante.
Let me put it like this. If war's what it will take to get rid of them, then that's what it will take.
I mean, he's kind of got a point. What other option do you got? Ain't like they're just gonna step down if you ask nicely.
I don't know, have we tried?
Even I ain't that stupid, Proteus.
Well, maybe we go with plan B. You can get more out of a kind word and a sword than you can with just a kind word. It worked well for our friend in the streets there.
What, are you suggesting we actually go there and talk with Voss?
There's no way we can deal with something like that right now. We have so
No.
many other plans.
Yeah.
We can't afford to get ourselves kicked out of the city, or arrested, or anything of that nature.
The thing is, they have too many projects going on, each one seemingly with a different sub-faction. We can't deal with all of them.
At the very least, what they're doing at the university is, I'd say, our highest priority, and considering all the layers of secrecy surrounding it, I think it's the thing that might, if we put a stop to, deal the most major blow to them.
Yeah.
What happens after that, it's impossible to say for certain. I don't fully know how we can take down the beast that is Deuterium for good, but at the very least, I don't think walking in there tomorrow is going to help us accomplish that, aside from getting to know their main headquarters. Unless you plan on ruffling some feathers tomorrow somehow, but like Dante said, we've got too much on the line.
I don't
We
think
got-
that meeting with him tomorrow is a wise idea, but he is going to speak with us one way or another. We should have an answer ready. But I'll let you sleep on that. Because if we sit here and talk about it, it's going to hit to 2 a.m. and you will be sleepy.
All right. If you're gonna do that, I will give you the benefits of a long rest.
All right. Well,
Okay.
while we're resting, I'm going to whip out the Tinker's tools and again kind of do this smoke and mirrors thing around the replay crystal to try to make it look like you have to push some buttons and knobs and things to get it working.
All right. I'll let you kind of do that for free.
Yeah. I can do it while I sleep, so.
All right. So I will let you get a long rest, and you wake up in the morning to a Sunday morning. All right.
Period.
Hopefully Ivy doesn't come in this morning again, but if she does, we'll probably need to chew her before we bring Estelle in.
Yeah. And sure enough, a few hours after you eat breakfast, there's a knock at the door,
Malcolm rolls up and opens it.
and it's Estelle. Hello,
Hi,
Malcolm.
Estelle. Come on in.
She walks in and
Malcolm shuts the door.
Judging by the sending, you found something.
Oh yeah, it sounds big.
Yeah,
Are you
we
ready
found,
to spend 2 hours here?
Okay, I guess I should ask, what are you not going to tell her?
I mean, if we're using the replay crystal, pretty much all that's just gonna go straight to her.
Yeah, so in terms of like that, what we've seen and stuff like that, she's probably gonna get like all of that.
Like we're gonna get her the replay crystal stuff.
And she says,
Though
Hmm.
I probably will skip over the Owen segment.
Okay. Well, it seems that you have proven that they are using ether. Did you find out who is doing this?
Well, we think
We did-
GD is Green Dragon.
And that is taken care of.
Yeah. And then QM. Well, we know it has to be someone on the ice continent, surely.
That sounds like the Queen's men.
Well, it starts with the right letters.
How are they? They're shipping ether outside of the ice continent somehow. That is concerning.
Well, they do have, I mean, from what we can tell, because of the ether, they have portals, so they might have set one up with the Queen's men elsewhere.
Well, they would need it. Well, let me put it bluntly. The Queen's men are a bunch of idiots. but it seems the Queen of Thieves herself is a very experienced Monoborn. And she may be the one who set up this portal. If that's how it's being shipped.
If that's how the shipments are getting in, maybe, but definitely not set up with the university.
Yeah.
That being said, the fact that the university is being used as a sort of... It was in the university we found this stuff, so something in there is being involved. Our current suspect is Professor Wolfric, but we don't have any absolute proof.
Well, we also don't know what Mordain is anymore.
There's that too.
Yes, I noticed this one. He appears to be... Is he dead?
He's not dead. From what I can tell, that's the work of the Necronomicon to keep him in purgatory.
You would need a high, an experienced necromancer to determine what this is with just this image alone.
Well, we're gonna have to see what we can do then.
But if all this evidence is already here, why don't we just blow it open?
As in...
Like, essentially, we just case the joint.
An incident like this, the MDRA would have to mobilize. Not even the MDRA. This sort of incident is something we call in the Hallowed Flames to let them do their work, but due to the delicate nature of the ether, it puts us in a precarious position.
But you didn't have anything to do with this. These two forces did.
And do you think the Hallowed Flames will believe that?
Even if they don't believe it, they can't act out on that alone. If they could, they would have done so against you already.
No,
I don't think the Hallowed Flames have much of a leg to stand on to say the MDR is responsible for this. If we've got a ledger indicating the Queen's men were giving it to the Green Dragon.
Besides, both you and them don't like this university anyway. Maybe it would be a good thing to get some common ground.
We don't like this university. You are correct in that assessment. But I did have an agreement with Dean Woodrow to maintain the integrity of the university. And the Aether itself is what the Hallowed Flame judge. As I've told you before, the numbers in Monoborn have increased, tripled since that meteor landed in the ice continent. And my biggest fear is them tying it to the source of Monoborn, turning them into an inquisition once again. Do you know what they did in those days of old? They slaughtered us after they had felled the Sorcerer Lords, just so no more would rise up. And
where this...
You haven't been on the ice continent, where the Hallowed Flames have shown their true colors of what they think about Monoborn.
What do they do?
They judge us harshly. They don't want us anywhere near stuff. They want to destroy our tower, our birthright. And I fear this will... It's a slippery slope. They haven't done any acts of violence so far against us. But, as I said, you haven't been there, and I feel it's teetering on the edge of that.
Well, the ice continent aside, the reason we're mentioning this for the here and now is, as you can see, the situation here has gotten very critical. We've got this entire underground facility that we barely even seen much of being used for all sorts of obscene experimentation, and at least someone in the university is potentially behind it and using people for it. And they're trying to create Monoborn based on some of these books we've seen.
I would say, yes, use whatever resources necessary. Just don't reveal there was a leak of aether outside of the air continent, or outside of the ice continent. I don't think you understand the gravity of what will happen if it is shown to them.
That you know that isn't going to be able to happen forever.
I realize the reality of that, but we can at least try to keep it contained for as long as possible, and we can study it more and possibly learn how to contain it better and stop its spread.
But why not just ally with them in this way? Give them reason to trust you, not hate you.
Because at the end of the day, I am merely a mage of the Fifth Circle in the MDRA. I don't have the jurisdiction to agree to that, but I just want our kind, Monoborn, to have a safe place to go. I do not want them to be slaughtered for how they are born. I don't want them to be judged for how they're born. I want there to be a place for them to learn and prosper and share their gifts with the world to make it a better place. And this aether, for what blessings it has given us in advancing arcane items and knowledge, it is a controversial issue that, well, the clergy would judge us very harshly for, as they do on the ice continent.
I don't want, to be entirely fair, I don't want the persecution of Monoborn either for, well, obvious reasons. I don't want to end up having to deal with that crap any more than any other Monoborn would. I'm just concerned about both the implications of what we've found and the implications of what might happen if we fail to contain it properly. We're in a very dangerously precarious situation.
Did you find any aether in that laboratory?
I'm trying to think if I did.
I mean, did you show her the thing with Mordane's body during that, or?
Yeah, I showed her the lab with the replay crystal and
So then-
Mordane's body.
She would have seen the casket.
Well, that's not in the
Well,
lab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we mean in the laboratory itself, which wasn't there the
The notes
not
on
the
like,
notes.
the infusions.
No, it's not the notes. It's the wasn't there like a
The
Garchomp?
Garchomp?
Yeah, the Garchomp.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Though, well, to some degree, that might be fine. But if you can get the hallowed flames into that laboratory without showing them ether, that would be ideal. I have no problem with you using the hallowed flames for issues that don't concern the ether. They are a strong force to be reckoned with. But if they discover the ether, it could spell disaster for the MDRA.
All
We'll
right, I
see.
think I understand
we
the
can-
idea
we-
there.
What if we can prove you ain't doing it?
Well, that's what she's saying. If we just go up to them and tell them we found out the sigil sequence and then we just teleport them inside, it will have looked like we found Deuterium doing this on our own. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, this is this teleportation circle is not a teleportation circle. What you're looking at here.
Oh, I thought it was.
It is designed to look like one, for whatever reason, but it seems to be a two-way portal.
I thought that because there were those sigils there that a monoborn could teleport to it.
Yes,
Does that just take you to the other side of the portal?
it's sloppy, but this is just merely an illusion, not an illusion, but a distraction. It is not a teleportation circle, what you see here. Thus, it has all the properties of one, but it's not one.
It's like one, but it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't use your 5th level magic to
No,
teleport in there?
because it's not a true teleportation circle.
Pause. The biggest issue would be with getting the Hell Flames there, if we were to go school way, would be making sure they don't see things like the caskets filled with the ether. If we could ensure that they don't see that, then we could potentially try bringing them in through the school way and getting them through that, doing it like that, but we need to figure out what to do with the ether in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is going to be finding any way to get other people in.
Well, if you ask me, I mean, we wouldn't have to worry about him finding out about the ether so much if, we proved that it's Deuterium that's got the ether, not the MDRA.
I think Estelle's issue is more just them learning the existence of the ether in the first place, correct?
Yes. Outside of
Yeah.
yes, where they are vigilantly trying to destroy all of it, and I realize the irony of we're trying to hide all of it, but we do use the Aether, but we do it because we can learn from it. Because we can make powerful items from it. Because if we don't learn about it and it happens again, well, what do we do about this? It is a part of our planet now, and it's a resource to be used. And that's why the Hallowed Flame is just gonna be fighting for eternity. Because they don't learn about anything, they just destroy it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, haven't you done studies to find out ether is self-replicating? I feel like results of that kind of information would help them come to that conclusion.
Yes, but they always assume the worst of us when we. They would be mad enough to know we're dabbling with it.
Would have to be some third source that's not the MDRA bringing this information forward.
I mean, if they found just a cave growing with this stuff, wouldn't that be enough for them to figure it out? Just it's
Yes.
there, nothing else.
Yes, and that's what you're. This is why I sort of hired you to keep these issues, quell them as best we can until
That's what I mean. It's like if we just let them find some of the naturally recurring ether out here, would they not see that they can't contain it, that it's pointless?
Well, then the problem would come where they would know it was leaked. Or it's
Oh, I see what you're saying.
or it's spread
they
outside
just-
It
the-
may have started on the ice continent, but I mean that's like out there in the middle of nowhere, right? I saw it on a big planet thingy they got in the school.
Correct.
So someone would have had to brought it out here. I think I see what she's saying now.
Regardless, I suppose we'll have to see what we can do and figure out how we're going to do this as discreetly as possible.
If you want the most direct solution, I would say you go in there and destroy that laboratory.
That's not happening. I can't even. We can't even bust down a door in there.
Well, you can't. Malcolm might be able to.
That sort of brash approach would have a lot of complications.
Whatever the case with anything here, that place needs to go. Because someone benefiting from raw ether is using that place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
but
there's information there that we could obtain that would be useful if we could.
Yeah.
I mean, if we tear that place apart, we'd be done. There's no way we'd be able to continue discreetly anymore.
Yes. You do have a point there.
And I have a feeling that you would not try to help us get out of the spotlight after that.
Well, you don't have to worry about your cover being blown as long as you did what you needed to do there. Your job that I hired you for is to go undercover as students there and discover how and why and who is using this raw ether that seems to have leaked outside of the ice continent. And if you are exposed after the fact, it does not matter. You did what you needed to do.
At which point we'd have bounties on our head. The theorem most likely would be after us, and we'd be on the run.
The MDRA could provide you with, for uncovering this, my superiors would be pleased and could provide you with protection if that were to come. But I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying that lab needs to go. And whoever is running it needs to go.
Got it.
Right. In any case, did you bring the spell scrolls I asked for?
Yeah, she pulls out her bag of holding and goes through the kind of the portfolio and hands them over.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks. As part of this, there have been invisible people walking around, and they've made things complicated, so being able to see them might make things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. That is something, unfortunately, does not prove someone is monoborn, as I've heard that university has cracked the techniques to turn invisible. But you should be able to see them nonetheless with this spell scroll.
Yeah, and that's the important thing.
For the way I would progress from here is, if you are going to go into that lab again, be decisive with your strike.
Right.
They, correct me if I'm wrong, Proteus, but you were not caught at all.
I tried to leave everything as I found it, and I didn't even let a prisoner see me.
Good. Because I believe whoever's doing this knows when we run our audits. And my fear with them covering their tracks when they know the clergy or the MDRA is about to be involved. So if they don't know about you yet, that is what we have at our advantage.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss among ourselves and decide how we're going to handle this.
Very
We
well.
do plan to, but we need to figure out exactly what our plan of attack is before we go barging in.
I can, as much as the edicts forbade me from giving you items at a non-flat price. If you are doing it for a cause like this, and that cause being taking down that laboratory, I could provide a care package of some sorts with potions and scrolls if you decide to undergo that mission.
Well, I don't think we're gonna do it just yet. I think we got to do just a little bit more before we do that.
That's yes. There's no point in being too hasty. Just because you have one lead, that's wise, surprisingly wise of you, Malcolm.
Thanks.
I'll contact you on a later date once we're fully sure what we plan and if we decide to take advantage of your assistance.
All right. You've done a good job so far. I hope you give me good news later.
I hope we can too.
All right. And she packs up her things and she begins leaving. And you are alone in your hotel room again.
Malcolm just kind of sits back in his chair as much as someone with his body format can. And he says, "You know, it's weird, guys. I feel like I'm looking at a spider web, but you know, kind of it's in the morning and the sun only shines off of some of it and you can only see some of it. It's kind of what it feels like looking at this whole thing."
Yeah, that's pretty good definition. We certainly created a dangerous game for ourselves.
I feel like if we can just tie something down and make it so that we can prove that the theorem's doing this, then the MDRA wouldn't have anything to worry about, because then the Howl of Flames would be going after the theorem.
Yeah, but we would break her promise to Dean Wardrow that the school isn't going to get bodied.
I mean, I guess so, but I mean, if the school don't know what's happening, is it really the school's fault? I mean, they're
That's why I was
just...
trying to get her to say, but she seems pretty convinced that the Hallowed Flames will just tear everything down. And to be fair, yeah, that's what they do. But I also, how much do I care anymore?
Well, you seem to care something.
There's no good way to do this cleanly.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're a bit nicer of a person than you think, Proteus.
Well, let's put it this way. Who do we hate the most? Because we are going to make someone mad in our next move, and that is not, as you said, we have a spider web. We pull one, we break one thread, it's tied to like 3 others. We are going to make someone mad.
Well, let me put it like this. If it means tearing down Deuterium, and if it means preventing what's happening in Loomhausen, I would rather use the Howled Flames than play things too sort of shady, like with the MDRA.
I
Yeah.
get her secrecy, but I kind of agree with the idea. Like, at this point, we're not going to be able to contain this Aether outbreak forever. But
She
also, obviously, if the Howled Flames go in and just start destroying stuff,
Yeah, that is one fair point. Is if the Howled Flames start destroying stuff, then we may lose that. We may fully lose that link to Deuterium. Because we technically don't have any proof that Deuterium's involved with this yet.
I mean, I don't know, having actual recordings are pretty good evidence.
Well, does anything there point to Deuterium is the thing.
I mean, yeah, because it's their stuff being shipped in and so forth. And I have other images of, the mech dragon and stuff. The kobold attested that someone gave them stuff from the school, and we left that one alive.
Good luck finding him. He's a small guy in a big city.
I'm sure we can ask one of our new friends for help with that.
But regardless, that's what I think is, like we said we were going to do. We asked to see what help we could get from MDRA, and at this point in time, it's clear we need to pick our battles, and I'd say taking out what's behind this and taking out Deuterium is more important than the MDRA's mission.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if she's right, then they're just gonna go on a killing spree on a whole bunch of Manaborn and didn't ever do anything.
Yeah, they already want to do that. We're not going to be stopping that either. When they find the ether, she made it sound like they're going to do that both ways. At least this way, they'll start the tirade against people who are actually guilty first.
I don't want... If the Howled Flames are going to do that, I don't want them to, but at the same time, well, we need to get at Deuterium in a way that's not going to get us into our own heavy hot water. And I think at this point in time, the question is, do we have any other choices?
I think that our only choice is to get the Hallowed Flames involved. Because if we go in with Estelle's plan, guns blazing, she's doing a backhanded way of getting us permanently involved with the MDRA. We could never leave them for any reason because our entire lives would be tied down to their amnesty.
That's a fair point, too.
and then brings with it so many problems, considering
This is the exact thing that Ivy was trying to warn us about. And I'm sure
If we're
Professor
sure we
Eric
wanna
Hellis
trust-
would have done the same.
He did at one point. He asked us if we're sure we want to trust him, remember? I think we need to
Well,
ask him a few questions about the MDRA since he was in it.
all right, then I think here's what we'll do for tomorrow. Then I think we'll first we'll see what the situation at the school is, because it's still possibly a live wire that we may need to prepare for. We'll maybe think about the dean, but otherwise, we're definitely going to want to tell Soulshade, hey, here's what the Necronomicon is being used for.
You mean Nightingale?
Oh, sorry, Nightingale, thank you. We'll see what we'll show Nightingale and go, hey, here's what the Necronomicon was used for. And then after that, I don't know how we're going to do, but I suppose we could try and see, or at least Malcolm, you could see what you can learn about the MDRA from Professor Eric Hellis, and we'll have to debate on whether we get the dean's help or not. And after that,
Malcolm has that look in his eyes like their gears turning again. He says, I think maybe we should hold off on the dean.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's possible he don't know what's going on there. But, I mean, his motives for this would have been the same as the theorem. He wants to keep the academy open, but if the academy is working with the theorem, then wouldn't the theorem kind of want it open too?
I
Honestly,
think
the
about it.
academy getting shut down ain't such a bad thing. I mean, a few people don't get to go to school anymore.
Thinking about it, I suppose. Yeah, you are correct. I don't think the dean's
mean,
a wild card that we don't know much about yet. So
Yeah, it ain't no smoke and fire, but I don't think we have enough to trust him yet.
yeah, the only thing we know for sure, the only thing we know is he asked us to help investigate the missing student, and Estelle reminded me that could just be very well be him trying to save face. We don't know for sure he can be trusted. So yeah, I think, and I think even if we do try and get help from him, it will likely be something similar to Estelle, where it's like just do things discreet, assuming he's not involved. It'd be just do things discreet and try not to create a ruckus. And at this point in time, we're leaning towards creating quite a big ruckus. So
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Do we even know what the staff hierarchy is? Like, is Voss the president slash principal, or is Dean Woodrow essentially the principal?
Dean Woodrow is, essentially. It's just
Okay.
the theorem funds the place.
Okay.
Yeah, but that means that he is their point of contact.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for now we'll mostly focus on Nightingale and maybe Professor Eric Ellis, and I think we'll leave the dean out of it. And once we're done with checking the school out tomorrow, I think or not tomorrow, today. I forgot it is Sunday. Once we're done sort of scoping the school out today, I think then we'll need to decide, do we want to try something else, or do we take this to the Out Flames and see where that goes? But once we do, be aware it's going to probably be a point of no return for us.
All right, then. I guess it's time to go to school.
On a Sunday.
Okay, that's where
Yep.
you're gonna go?
Yep.
Okay. So, I assume you're taking a lightning rail.
Yep.
And when you arrive at the school, it's revealed to still be closed.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I suppose it makes sense. Classes don't start until later, and there's probably still investigating. Well, that's unfortunate, but
Anything?
What about the students who stay on campus, though? Like,
Well, they were told to evacuate.
yeah, but where? It's like a boarding school, isn't it?
Yeah.
They probably got paid money to stay at a hotel or something.
Probably.
Should we just go play with Figgery then? Go find his hotel.
Before, is there anyone standing around the gate, or is like the guards, or is it just like ghost?
Oh, you can see Elias and Roy inside.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then.
yeah, I don't think breaking in's a good idea.
Oh, I wasn't gonna break in. I was just gonna kind of hold something and find out who's still there.
You want to ask him to the gate?
No.
We could just stick our arm through the gate and just start saying people's names and see if they're on campus.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I was gonna do, but I'm not gonna do that if there are guards that are gonna be like, "Hey, what are you kids doing here? Get out of here, you whippersnappers!"
Well, that ruins our plans for today, so...
What else then?
I mean, we could go to the clinking glass. It's the only other thing I can think of that we might be able to do, but I mean, we don't really have any plans for what we'd do if we got there.
Not really.
We don't have enough information to really make that trip worth it, though, right?
I don't think so. I guess,
We can go. Oh no, we can go to the corporation headquarters, but
Oh my
I don't think
gosh.
that's a good idea. Let's go. We could just go to the theater. Let's just go to work like normal people.
On a Sunday.
Exactly.
normal people on a Sunday, clearly.
I mean, we have our thing on Friday. It's a crunch week.
Would the theater be open?
It would. The Proteus would know that.
I guess if we wanted... I don't
I really
know.
don't know what we're doing today.
All my plans have been ruined.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like... Okay, so completely unfounded suspicion popped up in my head. What if there's something more to the whole Blue Rose Theater other than he just wants to turn it into a factory? What if there's something there that's magical? Because if they're obsessed with becoming Mana-born, maybe there's something at the Blue Rose we don't know about.
What, like a basement that we haven't seen?
I don't know, maybe. Like I said, unfounded suspicion. Conspiracy theory.
I mean, I can certainly go to work while you guys go to the basement.
If there is one.
If
I
there is
guess
one.
if you want us to like investigate around the Blue Rose Theater and see if there's anything special, we could.
If
Yeah.
nothing else, maybe we'll find more potions lying around.
I need a new spell casting crystal.
Why?
Because mine got turned into a VHS tape.
Oh.
Sounds like you're making a trip to the market.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can just see if Anna has one.
If Anna's at the theater, hey Anna, you got a crystal for me?
But yeah, I guess it's weird to say this, but yeah, I guess we're going to the theater.
Okay, and I guess that's where we'll end things then.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunday plans have been.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Bye.